You're scrolling through your feed, watching everyone else live these heavily curated, perfectly lit lives. You have a thought, a cool photo, or maybe just a funny observation you want to share. You open the app, type it out, maybe even attach the picture. But then your thumb hovers over the post button. You read it again. Suddenly, it feels stupid. Or maybe it feels too vulnerable. So you hit delete, close the app, and go back to being a ghost in the digital machine. If you do this, you might think you're just lazy, uniquely insecure, or failing at the modern game of personal branding. But let me show you what your brain is actually doing behind the scenes, because the truth is far more fascinating. We tend to assume that people who never post are just disconnected, or simply don't have anything to say. But the psychological reality is often the exact opposite. You aren't lacking thoughts. You are experiencing a phenomenon psychologists call the spotlight effect, amplified to a global scale. The spotlight effect is this quirky glitch in our cognitive wiring where we massively overestimate how much other people notice our actions, our flaws, and our words. When you are standing in a crowded room, you might feel like everyone is staring at the coffee stain on your shirt, when in reality, they are all just worrying about their own stains. Now, take that ancient tribal wiring and plug it into a platform with billions of people. Your brain, which evolved to survive by not getting kicked out of a tight-knit hunter-gatherer tribe of 100 people, suddenly perceives the entire internet as a potential threat to your social survival. It's no wonder your nervous system hits the brakes. Every time you draft a post, you are unconsciously running a complex, lightning-fast risk assessment. You're asking your brain, will this be misunderstood? Will I be judged? Does this fit the hyper-specific, invisible brand of me that exists in the minds of my acquaintances? That hesitation isn't weakness. It is your mind acting as a highly sophisticated, protective shield. It is actually a sign of high self-monitoring and deep empathy. You are acutely aware of social nuances and the permanent, unerasable nature of the digital world. You intuitively recognize that once a thought leaves your head and enters a server, it loses its context and becomes an artifact that anyone can misinterpret. Think of it like being an artist who paints entirely for the joy of the brush strokes, but refuses to hang the canvas in a gallery where strangers can carelessly critique the colors. There is a quiet, profound beauty in keeping your experiences to yourself. In a world that constantly screams at us to commodify our every waking moment and package our trauma or joy for public consumption, choosing to be a digital observer is a radical act of boundary setting. You are preserving the sacredness of your inner life. You aren't hiding. You are just incredibly selective about who gets a VIP pass to your inner thoughts. So the next time you write out a long, thoughtful caption only to backspace it into oblivion, don't beat yourself up. You aren't failing at social media. Your brain is just expertly prioritizing your peace over public performance. It's okay to just exist, to watch, and to live your life entirely in the physical world without needing a digital receipt to prove it happened. You are allowed to be the audience. I'd love to know if you are a chronic draft deleter or if you found a way to overcome that digital stage fright. So let me know how you navigate this down in the comments. And if you want to keep exploring the weird and wonderful ways our minds work, make sure to stick around and subscribe for more.